Trust, like love, is fragile. It's not earned in the grand gestures, but in the quiet moments. The spaces where words aren't needed, but your presence is felt. When a woman shares her fears, it's a door opening into her inner world. And by listening, you're stepping into a sacred space. And don't rush through it. Respect it. So many people go through life feeling unseen, unheard, misunderstood. But when someone shares their fears, their worries, or their insecurities with you, it's an invitation to be the person who breaks that cycle of misunderstanding. It's not about fixing her problems, it's about being her safe place, a refuge in a world that often feels too harsh. You don't need to have all the answers. Sometimes, simply saying, "I hear you," is enough. Because in the end, we all just want to feel understood. Think about it, how often do you share your own fears with others? Probably not as much as you think. We hold our fears close because we don't want to be judged, dismissed, or made to feel small. When a woman tells you about her fears, she's trusting that you won't diminish her experience, that you'll honor her emotions and treat them with respect. That's a rare and beautiful thing. There's a saying, the greatest gift you can give someone is your time, but it's more than just time, it's your undivided attention. Your willingness to sit in the silence with them, and your patience to listen without needing to solve everything. So, the next time someone opens up to you, especially when a woman shares her fears, remember that you don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be there. Be the person who listens. Be the person who understands. Because in the end, it's not the solutions or advice that make the biggest difference in someone's life. It's the way you make them feel when they're at their most vulnerable. And if she trusts you enough to tell you her fears, you've already earned a place in her heart. Don't underestimate the power of that. And here's the truth, being present for someone in their vulnerable moments is more powerful than we often realize. You might think it's just a conversation, just a moment, but to her, it could mean everything. In a world that often moves too fast, where everyone seems to be wrapped up in their own struggles, to take the time to listen, truly hear someone's fears, is a rare and precious gift. Here's something to remember: vulnerability is strength. And when she chooses to be vulnerable with you, she's showing just how strong she truly is. She's trusting you with a part of her that not everyone gets to see. And that trust, that openness, is the foundation of something real, something meaningful. So never take it lightly when someone lets you into their world like that. It's not always easy to express fears, especially when the world often tells us to be strong, to hide our weaknesses. But real strength comes from acknowledging those fears, from facing them, and from sharing them with those we trust. It's in these moments of vulnerability that true connections are made. Relationships are not built on perfection, they are built on trust. On the ability to be real with one another. And when she shares her fears with you, she's not just looking for a shoulder to cry on. She's looking for someone who can hold space for her, who can honor her feelings without trying to change them. So if she tells you about her fears, take a moment. Pause. Breathe. And simply be there. Be the person she can count on. The one who listens without judgment, who offers understanding instead of solutions. Because in the end, that's what we all need: a safe place to be ourselves, fears and all. It's easy to think that being strong means hiding your fears, that sharing them makes you weak. But in reality, the strongest people are the ones who can be vulnerable, who can admit when they're afraid, and who can trust others with that part of themselves. So, when she opens up to you, see it for what it is: an act of courage, a gesture of trust, and an invitation to be part of her world. Don't rush to fix her. Don't try to solve her problems. Just be there. Be the steady presence she needs, the quiet reassurance that she's not alone in her fears. Because ultimately, love and trust are not about having all the answers. They're about being there for each other, especially in the moments when we don't know what to do. It's about holding space for each other's fears and knowing that, together, you can face anything. Cherish that trust. Guard it. And be the person who listens, who understands, and who stands by her side no matter what. In life, we often measure strength by what we can endure alone. But real strength, the kind that builds lasting relationships, lies in the ability to share our fears, to admit when we're scared, and to lean on those we trust. When a woman shares her fears with you, it's not a sign of weakness, it's the ultimate act of strength and faith in your relationship. It means she believes in you, in your ability to hold space for her, and in your willingness to understand without judgment. It's not about saying the perfect words or offering immediate solutions. It's about letting her know that no matter how tough things get, you'll be there. You're the one she can turn to when the world feels too heavy. Think about the moments in your own life when you felt most vulnerable. Maybe it was a time when you didn't have all the answers, when fear or uncertainty gripped you. Now think about how much it meant when someone listened to you, without rushing to solve your problems or telling you what you should do. It wasn't the advice that mattered, it was the feeling of being heard, the simple act of someone being there for you. That's what she's asking for when she tells you about her fears. Not advice, not solutions, just a safe place to share the weight of her emotions. And when you offer that, you're giving her something priceless, the gift of your presence, your empathy, and your unwavering support. In this world, we are often told to keep our fears hidden, to present a brave face at all times. But true connection, the kind that lasts, is built on honesty. When she shares her fears, she's offering you a glimpse into her true self, her hopes, her worries, her dreams. And that's not something to be taken lightly. It's easy to think that being strong means never showing fear. But the truth is, being able to admit your fears and trusting someone with them is one of the bravest things you can do. It takes courage to be vulnerable, to let someone see the parts of you that are still uncertain or scared. And when she chooses to share that with you, she's showing you the depth of her trust and faith in you. So, what should you do when a woman shares her fears with you? It's simple, just listen. Offer her the comfort of knowing she's not alone in her thoughts. Be the quiet, steady presence that reassures her she's safe to feel what she's feeling. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to have all the answers. All you need is to be there, fully present, fully engaged, and fully understanding. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say in response is, "I'm here for you." Those 4 words can mean more than any advice you could give, because they tell her that you're not just there for the easy moments, but for the hard ones too. Life is full of challenges, uncertainties, and fears. We all have them, whether we admit them or not. But the people who stand by us in those moments, the ones who listen without judgment, who offer us their time and their care, are the ones we hold closest to our hearts. So, if a woman tells you about her fears, don't rush to fix her problems. Don't minimize her concerns or try to move on too quickly. Instead, take a deep breath, sit with her in that moment, and offer her your presence. Let her know, without a doubt, that you are there for her now and always. And remember this, when someone trusts you enough to share their fears, they are offering you something incredibly valuable. They are showing you their heart. Be mindful of that. Hold it gently, and above all, never take that trust for granted. Because in the end, the greatest gift we can give each other is not solutions, not answers, but the simple reassurance that we are not alone. We all need someone who will stand by us when life feels uncertain, someone who will listen when we are afraid. When a woman tells you about her fears, it doesn't mean she's seeking answers or solutions. It means she's allowing you into the most fragile parts of her soul, sharing what makes her vulnerable. Like, comment, and subscribe for more from the wisdom of psychology.